The next step is we want to add a wood socket to the top to add a feather in. And in the kit, you'll find a series of birch dowels that have been pre-drilled for you. And also in the kit, you'll have, we got 3 wire rods as well. And we're going to take the rod and snip it in half. Doesn't need to be exact. I'm going to snip this guy. So this one piece I'm going to take and bend a loop into it. And that, there you go. So we're going to insert the wire with the loop down and in, the piece I cut off with the holes at the bottom. Now this is, you're going to go, basically, we're going to go through this. So I want to get the pin down there, line it up. Now that wire, that pin is locked in place because I have put this one through the loop. So at this point, I want to bend both pieces down. And I have the seam in the back. So I want the feather to come basically not straight up. I want it just to come off to the back on a nice gentle slope. So what I'm going to do is stick the wires down through the black velvet. You may need to poke the hole with your awl. So here's the back seam. Here's my wood slat. I'm going to poke a hole right up close to the top through that black velvet. Insert one there and the other one on the other side of the frame. So I'm fairly comfortable with that being there. I have my 2 wires on the inside of the cap. I'm going to squeeze those together. And basically take my pliers at this point, pull those guys nice and tight, and twist them into a knot. So they overlap. And that's my thread that I don't want to cut as of yet. And in the kit, you'll also come across, we have some bronze turkey feathers. Here's my tape. So you have the bronze turkey. These are the tail feathers. These guys are the wing feathers. So what we're going to do is snip the end of the bottom of the quill. This feather is hollow, probably just about up to there, and then it becomes solid all the way up to the end. So we can insert him. So it looks like I got about 1 inch that I want to cut off. So we'll take our pliers back out. I'm gonna pinch about 1 inch, 1.25 inches off of the top. Insert our feather back in. Voila. So basically, guy will sit like that. So now that the dowel's secured, that's going to hold the feather in place, with this thread, we're going to sew bundles of feathers on. And we'll jump into applying those feathers next. This is a turkey wing feather, and you're going to grab the top and peel down. Turn it over. Even though you get little pieces, it's going to break. You'll use them all. Peel that guy down. You can discard that. And any feathers work. Occasional red feather, white. You can use the bronze tail feathers. We're using the turkey wing feathers right now. Peel those guys right down. So that's proper technique. Just grab the top, pinch the feather. Even you end up with little pieces like that, those are fine. Save them and just keep peeling. Little pieces are fine. They're not all going to be nice and long. So now that you have a pile of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it roughly has 5 pieces that we just ripped up. And take your thread. I'm still using this little guy. Gonna wrap the end, 10 or 15 times. Cut that off and put a little dab of glue. And I didn't bring up glue. I'm going to put a little dab of glue onto that thread wrapping. Set it aside. You're going to make a series of those feather bundles, probably 10 or 15 of them. And once you have them glued and wrapped, you don't need to tie the thread in a knot. That glue will hold it in place. So what we're going to do is now apply these bundles to the top of the cap. And some bundles vary in length. And so once again, some bundles vary in length. This is nice and long. These are shorter. And so on and so forth. Nice and short. So that's why you don't want to discard those little pieces that you rip off. You want the little pieces basically sewn to the front, with the longer pieces, when they hang down the back, I think that's ideal. So kind of sort out, we got some longer bundles and the shorter ones. So with the same thread, and if you cut it off by chance, you can just add a new thread, stitch it to the top, put a knot in place. So these, now we're going to take our needle and we're going to slide it right through the thread that we whipped the bundle of feathers together. We're going to go right through that guy and slide that bundle right down to the hat. Now we'll take a needle and slide it into the fabric. Pull it tight. Add another bundle of feathers. This is shorter ones. I like the shorter ones to the front. And basically work your way around the hat. You can add more over time. You'll find over time that some of the feathers and the bundles break off and fall. And it's like no big deal, because you just make more little bundles and apply them into the hat. Once again, that bundle has been wrapped and glued. Stick the needle through that wrapping and the glue. That way it's not going to come off. We'll sew one more bundle in. Voila. So their feathers are kind of all wild at this point. They will settle down a little bit, but over time the feathers will also twist. Like, look at this guy. Look how nice and twisted they are. They're fairly short. They're not super long. They don't cover your eyes. So with this, we're going to take that feather that we cut earlier. There's our dowel with our pin. Slide that feather down. There's your finished product. So you can add a variety of feathers for decoration to further decorate it. You know, this one has wampum beads in the front, the nice silver brow band, as well as all the decorations on the back. It just added to with the feather. You know, a little extra attention was to the detail on that feather. So you can make this basic headdress look like this. Just time. But this works. This is great. Nice, easy project. And I think we've spent, 45 minutes at the most to put that together. Just do it in stages. Take your time. The frame, wrapping the frame, ripping the feathers, and then gluing the feathers, and then applying the feathers to the top. You can just see a little bit. There's our seam down the back. If you add 2 more bundles of feathers here, it will just cover that right up nicely. And there you go. Braided ribbon. Once again, if I was going to apply the ribbon to the back of this, I would take my awl. I would poke the hole in the fabric and insert one of the ribbons in that hole. And if you wrap it around the frame, it also gives it body to hold it in place. So, voila. So, and basically you have 2 more dowels, so you could add them in the same fashion and do a similar mohawk style one if you wanted the 3 feathers. This one in this case is a single feather off the top. The Seneca wore hats like this. Once again, Chris Bullock, Wandering Bull. You can jump on the website, look at Facebook. Thanks a lot.